Now we have another startup here. Say hello to Pete from Ayvri.
Hi, how's everyone?
I think it's good.
Good.
So this is Ayvri. It's an interactive map, and I can follow my bike tour, for example, in the mountains. Is that right?
Bike tours, races, every paraglider.
Whatever. Parachuting.
Paragliders. Every paraglider in the world uses Ayvri.
Really?
Pretty much, yeah.
Since when is that?
We started about 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
And you think every person around the world is using that now?
Every paraglider.
Paraglider.
Every paraglider.
Why is this so important for paragliders?
Well, they've got no other way to show people and share what they've done. You know, you can't.
Yeah. I can put a GoPro here and just fly around.
But GoPro doesn't work with how our minds work. So when you watch a GoPro video, the reason you only want to watch it for like 20 seconds is because without a target for us to focus our attention on, we lose general perspective of where we are. So that's why any director who is filming a first-person shot, they'll stay in there for a few seconds and then they have to get out of that because the audience can't understand it. Because we're away from what we're tracking and you show the scenery, you get to focus on that person and you see what's around them. It's better for our brains to understand things that way.
Mm-hmm. So you need a bird's eye perspective.
You need a bird's eye perspective, which is what we give.
Of my flight or my bike ride, and then I can understand this better.
Yes, other people who were not with you can understand it better.
So I thought I can just go parachuting and put this camera on my helmet and that's it. But you said that is not a good solution.
It's not a good solution. I mean, look at how much GoPro video, one, doesn't get used, and when somebody else is watching your GoPro video, if you are pointing it, if it's a helmet cam or it's a chest cam, it's pointed away from you, they don't get it. Which is why we invented the stick, right? And you point the stick towards you.
And people cannot see me, right?
They can't see you. But when you've got a selfie stick, right?
Right,
then
yeah.
all of a sudden, so again, now our brains can understand because we have that person that we can project onto, but you're missing out on a lot of the scenery. So we're a solution sort of in between there.
But how can I see with Ayvri myself? So I can only see the landscape.
Right now we are landscape. Yeah, we'll be adding in video, so you can add in your own video, so we'll mix the two together.
So I can put the selfie stick camera here, and I can switch to this landscape view and my
We'll get there.
Selfie
We're not there yet, but we'll get there. Yeah, and photos and all sorts of other stuff.
I see.
Yeah.
And so people can understand more my bike ride in the German Alps, where I go downhill or whatever.
Yeah, anywhere in the world. And as well, it's also used by commercial drone operators.
Yeah.
They need to report on their flights.
Yeah.
And they can hand over a GPS file.
Because of reporting issues.
Reporting issues. So now instead of if they've been accused of flying somewhere where they weren't supposed to go, or somebody wants to review their flights, this is the best way to do it. Instead of giving you a map, a 2D map doesn't work, obviously, and they also want time. So to understand the time component of when you flew, how fast you're going, where you went. And same thing with wildlife researchers.
And how many co-founders are you?
So there's 3 in the team.
3 in the team.
Yeah, 3 in the team.
How did you come up with this idea?
So we actually used to work at CSIRO, which is Australia's Science and Technology Research Agency.
Yes.
So we developed some of the core technology there. We weren't sure what it was going to be used for, and then we started seeing it used in sports, commercial drone operations, wildlife research, transportation, and all these things. And we went, okay, there is a market here, and so we spun out from CSIRO. As a skier, mountain biker, I had experienced all this sort of stuff before myself. Mike, who's part of the team, is a paraglider.
So you were facing that problem.
I understood the problem. Yes. And as a racer as well, to understand races, the 2D maps don't give you that experience of what the race is like. So yeah, I did understand that problem. Yeah.
Within that story, it's only 2 years, right?
Yeah.
What was your biggest fail?
So as we've been growing and understanding the market and the different markets that we're in, we've been sort of shooting off, so one thing here and try something here and try something there. And so I think there's a lot of what we would consider failure in the things that we've tried. So for instance, live tracking was one of the things that, and people were coming to us saying, hey, we want to do live tracking of our race events. You know, put thousands of people into a scene and see everybody running together.
And then I can see live what's going on here.
See live what's going on there, yeah. And so that was a direction that we spent quite a bit of time on in going in that direction, and that market hasn't proven out to be valuable enough for us to.
And that was a disaster.
it didn't go anywhere. How's that? We
So
spent a bunch of time on it.
You stopped.
We stopped. Yeah, we still have people asking for it.
Yeah.
But we know that we now understand that the market's not ready, so it might take another 5 years. So complete disaster, probably not a complete disaster, but yeah, we thought that there would be more revenue coming in from that, and the market's just not ready.
Revenue is a good topic. So where did you get the revenue from?
So we have an API. We're actually the only 3D mapping API available in the world. You can't do this stuff with Google Maps or Mapbox or anybody else.
Yeah.
And so Red Bull Wings for Life, which is the largest organized run, they use us in their app. View Ranger, which is the second largest hiking app in the world, Polaris Automotive, and a bunch of others use our API, and we build that on a per-use basis. So they upload their tracks to us, and they get to build this into their app.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't get any revenue from private person. If I want to use this, I need to pay, or?
So most of this is free. We do have users who want to put multiple people in a single scene.
Yeah.
And so there's a premium version price for that. If you want to create scenes with more than 3 people, then that's our current premium. And we've got some other products that we're working on for premium consumer users. But for most of it, this is right now for users, it's free.
And where is this right now?
This is, I believe that was in Italy.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got users all around the world. Most of our users are in Europe, France, Italy, Spain. We've got a lot of users in the States. But yeah, all around the world, people are using Ayvri.
And you base on Google Maps, or?
No, you can't do this with Google Maps. So this is our own 3D renderer.
As your own?
Yeah, so we have our own 3D rendering, and we also have maps comes from satellite mapping providers and satellite train providers. So we buy the data, or every month.
Yeah.
They run a software as a service. We put this all together for people to use.
What's your advice for other founders when they start with an idea?
So like I said, the biggest mistake that we've made is being spread too thinly across too many markets and not focusing on one. So I would say if you can nail yourself down to focus on one market, one customer, do that and go deep on that. But also make sure that your market size is big enough. Because what we experience is that we've got a whole bunch of small markets that we try and spread ourselves out on and get enough revenue from, as opposed to having one huge market that you could just drill completely down on.
So you're now focusing on one specific mapping and put some other markets
we are
tried to reach them.
So yeah, as opposed to trying to reach multiple markets is very, very hard. We are looking at one larger market now and seeing where we can get with.
Okay, but you definitely would recommend any startup to figure out what's my target group and just focus on that.
So
and see,
you can often have more than one target group, and that's where I'm saying, look, don't spread yourself too thin across too many target groups, which is what we've done. Like I said, we've got the sports people, we've got the drone people, we've got the wildlife people, we've got transportation people, and so we've got customers in all these areas, and it makes it hard to build a specific product for only one, but none of those areas for us was a big enough market on itself. So make sure you've got a big enough market and then just focus on that one.
Okay, and not getting confused with any others. It's hard to put marketing and all sales efforts in many markets, right?
Yes.
If you have only one group, you put all your efforts of marketing and sales into that group, and it's a lot more cost efficient.
And product. So we haven't done any marketing. Everyone has come to us. They've seen what we do and they go, I can't do this anywhere else, so they come to us. So that's where I think it's easy to get dispersed across multiple, because you've got people coming to you saying, oh, but I'll be a customer if you do this, if you do this. So you end up doing too many little things as opposed to one big focused effort.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the biggest positive thing you've reached here in the studio?
So we're brand new, actually. We only moved in a couple weeks ago. Yeah. So we're new to the studio.
So why did you choose the studio?
Just to be around other media people. Like, none of us on the team come from a media background, but to be around other people in media, we're very tech heavy, and to get that influence and that understanding from people who've been in the media space more, because it's a new type of media.
You think it's better than sitting in an office somewhere? alone?
Well, we were in another shared space before, but that shared space didn't have a focus. So it was just,
just like we work or whatever.
Yeah, just that sort of thing where, one person sitting next to you is doing environmental stuff and somebody else is just, a consultant building websites. So here to have a bunch of people who are all focused on media is beneficial.
Pete, thank you for introducing me to Ayvri,
My
right?
pleasure.
Yeah?
Get out there and use it and go have some fun.